I think we had a very good fall season. It was a lot of learning moments. I think we competed really hard. We have a lot of young players, a roster that is still developing. So I feel like with that, we did a good job kind of building some momentum and understanding what it takes to compete at the college level. Obviously, which from very high successes with Mackenzie Davis winning the ITA Regional, which was a huge moment in our program's history and for her individually, and we had some other shining moments. So it was a really good developmental fall for us. It was good, and it made spring a little difficult because we have to start later in spring with our practicing. But it was good to kind of keep the momentum going and continue to work with this young roster, especially with the 4 freshmen and still developing players from last year. So that gave us a nice little boost to continue, but we're going to have to, get going pretty quickly here right before we play Weber State. So there's good and bad to that, but any coach loves the ability to keep on practicing, especially when you're feeding the positive moments. Last year we were really thin with roster depth. We couldn't absorb injuries. People had to play, quite honestly, too many matches and too often. And this year with 10 very good players on our roster, it's going to give us a great opportunity to rotate people and be smart with their development and smart with their bodies. And I just think from a coaching standpoint, it gives us a lot more flexibility with doubles lineups, a lot more flexibility with singles lineups, and improved competitiveness in practice. So I think all the way around, the added depth is really going to help us play better in March and April. We're real excited to be hosting 3 matches in 2 days here in Logan. I think that with our roster size, what our plan is to get everyone some playing time. Get everybody out there, get their feet wet in college tennis, get all the freshmen playing at some point over the weekend, get all the returners going, and kind of give ourselves a good opportunity to see what we need to improve before we play a very talented BYU at the end of the month. When I came to Utah State, one of my number one goals was to build relationships with the local universities and create rivalries. Obviously, we're not tremendous rivals with Utah or BYU yet because, a rivalry involves both teams winning, and we have not been able to do that yet. And that is kind of our next step, is trying to be as competitive as possible and create really healthy and good rivalries within the state. I mean, Weber State always plays us really tough. I think they're a very good program. And, of course, BYU is exceptionally good nationally ranked program this year, and they do a great job, over there at that university. So I think that it's really important for us to compete well against them and to win. So I think that is our goal, and I think it will be a great way to start the year playing some local rivalries. Most improvement from last year's roster, and Lexi Turley had a fantastic fall. We're looking for big things from her this spring. Nini always improves. She's a tremendous worker, really works obviously very, very hard, and she's a great player for our program. The freshmen have vastly improved from the day they walked on campus to now. It will be it's going to be exciting to watch them compete, for us and contribute to the program. But I think, from last year, the returners, I don't think there's a single player on the roster that is not markedly improved, which is great to see. Go Aggies.